Today on the table I brought you the CZ75 SPO1 and the Canik TP9 V2. There's no point in talking about a price split because they quit making this pistol, so you're going to have to score it off the used market, which is a shame because this is honestly the best one out of the line that I feel they made. Now, the really old ones are even better because they went and redesigned their holster. Like this is how it would go on your body. The release is on the inside, so you can't push it. And then they give you a lanyard that goes over top, like if you're going to ride horseback or something, so it don't pop out. Now, when it comes to holster designs, in my opinion, there's, well, 3 different types. If you're obviously a single-action shooter and you ride horseback, then you're going to want a lanyard because the other 2 types just aren't going to work sufficiently. Then you got your tension type, which will have adjustment screws so you can adjust your tension to what you want to do. So like if you're going to run in competition or speed matters, you can just rip it out. Then you have your button style, which has a button for like a tactical operator. If they need to go stealth, they can push the button and slowly draw the firearm out without making a bunch of noise or a whole bunch of movement because the human eye picks up movement. That's what gives us away. We don't see very well, but we detect movement really well. So anyway, they redesigned this and seriously dropped the ball. I was completely angry because it ruined the whole package because it was a complete deal before, which was bomb. And they forced this holster down our throat like a bad gun control. I went as far to message them and said I was so angry I was going to have a love child with their wife. So then they went and made an Instagram video explaining, no, we didn't make the holster wrong, and you guys are just using your holsters wrong because the holsters are better. It's an improvement. But a lot of times if this isn't secured on you properly, like let's say you're not actually using a belt, you just have your pants in there so there's no defined spot on there, and you go to try to draw your firearm, the holster comes out with it. Terrible design, killed the package. So if you're going to get a TP9 V2, make sure it's got the button on the outside. So, alright, here's the connecting part, here's the button. Make sure the button's on this side. I still think that they screwed up in manufacturing. Somehow the plans were drawn up wrong and the button was put on the wrong side, so they just covered their tracks, and instead of having this little release right there, a square to properly secure your firearm, they made it a triangle so you can just rip it out and called it good. So that is something to be aware with the Canik TP9 V2. And all the newer Caniks, they all use this garbage holster. Don't get them. Throw these away. Believe me, they're just a headache. Also, the TP9 V2 will come with an extra magazine, a speed loader, and a changeable back strap. With the CZ75, you also get a changeable back strap and an extra magazine. Now the CZ75's actually got really affordable like a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that. They came down like $150, $200 in price. Apparently somebody at CZ's marketing department was like, hey, I have a genius idea. Why don't we sell our firearms at a realistic price and see if it boosts sales? The other guy looked at him like, oh my god, Carl, you're a fucking genius. Let's just bring the price down to something realistic and sell some firearms. And that's what they did. So now these are totally affordable. Both firearms are a double single. Now the CZ75 has an exposed hammer. Here's your decocker. The Canik's a double single. Here's your decocker. But it does not have an exposed hammer. It's got kind of like a pinball machine for a firing pin. But normally it's cocked, so then you have a trigger set up, and then your trigger break. Or you can just pull it back all at once. So if you're going to holster it, you can decock it, and then you have a very hard trigger to pull. This would be extremely hard to accidentally set off. Or say you want to take it down like a Glock, you have to dry fire. The TP9 V2, you do not have to dry fire. You just hit the decocker, and then everything comes apart. The CZ75 for disassembly is awful. It needs to be redesigned. This is not an acceptable design. You have to line up this pin right here, then you have to do a bunch of stupid stuff, and then you have this part just laying out there extra. It's horrible. Not a good design at all. Capacity is exactly the same. The Canik does it right. It looks good. The CZ75, this looks just god-awful ugly. This little extension right here, it shouldn't even exist. Like, I have decent-sized hands. I think can't remember if I'm a large in glove size or medium. Or somewhere in the middle. The point is, I consider my hands like an average size. It fits on there just fine. There's no room to have an extension. I would much rather have this cut flush and lose a round of capacity, maybe 2 rounds of capacity. This little extension looks like something you'd buy off of eBay. It's just horrible. But that does give you the same capacity. Specs, the Canik is slightly lighter, slightly shorter, and not as tall. Now, before you CZ fanboys start hammering away in the comments talking about bore access, they're the exact same. I measured. The distance from the center of the bore to the top of the trigger guard and right here is the exact same as the CZ75. There is no advantage whatsoever to having the slide on the inside of the frame as far as bore access is concerned. As far as keeping dirt out, maybe there's something to be said. Throw a suppressor on here because this is all sealed off, this crap is just going to blow into your face. Not cool. The Canik has ventilation all along the side, so the Canik would be an ideal firearm to suppress. Trigger brake. The Canik in single action mode actually brakes pretty good. Double action mode, brakes like a double action, really heavy, really long, but the actual snap is actually pretty clean. You reset right there, and then your brake again. It's actually got a beautiful reset. CZ75, single action mode, brakes pretty damn good. Double action mode, also brakes pretty good. Not saying this is a bad brake, because it's not. It's damn good. But the CZ75 is better. No matter what kind of shooting I'm doing, I will outperform the Canik with the CZ75. It's got a fiber optic front sight on there, but normally it's just got these black sights. They're pretty horrible. The Canik definitely has better sights, a 3-dot system, very nice. The ejection port on the Canik is much larger. It's going to be far easier to clear malfunctions out of here than out of the CZ75 because it's just a little port, so you got to get it to go at just the right angle to come out of there. Your Canik, nice wide open port. Far easier to clean it out and inject a malfunction. Controls. From your normal shooting position. Very difficult to hit the mag release, but it is doable. Slide release. I still got to cock the firearm a little bit, but still doable. None of that is really that big of a deal. Decocker. Very easy to hit. I like that a lot. Recocking the hammer, even one-handed, is really nice. And it does have a nice 90 on the back sight, so if you want to rack it off your clothes, you can do that and do a one-handed reload. The Canik doesn't have quite as nice of a 90, but you can still do this off your clothes. Mag release, a little bit easier than the CZ75, still kind of difficult. Slide release. Not bad. I thought it would actually be pretty tough with how flat it is, but yeah, I can get my thumb right on there. It works pretty nice. Decocker, you gotta use your other hand. Neither firearm has a safety, but they're double singles, so who really cares? Both do have accessory rails, so you can put your tack light on there, which is pretty awesome. They got a very similar grip. Like, the texture is the same. You can change the back strap out. There is area in the front. Now, the Canic, it's got a lanyard loop, and it's in the grip. So, that works. I mean, I'd rather see it in the grip. Because otherwise, like, let's say this did have flush mount magazines, and I were to come up, this lanyard loop would definitely drill me in the hand. And I guess there is some sort of need for lanyards. I don't have one come to me personally, but I guess people like them, so cool. Good on the lanyard. And sir, don't forget, another good reason to buy the CZ75 is it's got a lanyard loop, so it can double up as a hinged melee weapon, so if it runs out of ammunition, you can still fight off the commies and just smash them in the head. Like I said, grip texture is basically the exact same, changeable back straps. The cases themselves, I like the Canic better. It's hinged in the back exactly like you'd like to see, and it's got slides and a spot for a padlock. This is a very nice case. This will definitely last a lifetime. CZ75, same story. Very nice case. I believe they're equal in construction and they both will last a lifetime. So which one would I pick? Well, both of these are good firearms. I think no matter what you get, they're still good. Myself, I'm leaning more towards the CZ75 because the finish is a little bit better. Even though this is a non-circumcised slide, it's still easy to rack because this is actually cut properly. The slide groove's kind of cut in. It's very nice, and I like the look of it a lot. Nothing wrong with the Canic, though. This is a cheap striker fire handgun. I mean, if I bought this, I would literally beat it like a baby seal. I wouldn't hold back. I'd practice hard with it. You're good to go. It's very good. It's got very nice slide serrations, a nice big open port, so if you run into malfunctions, they're easy to clear. You get a double single option. Very nice. But I'm a fan of an exposed hammer on a DASA. So this would be my pick, CZ75. Leave in the comments below which one you would pick and why. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can click on my Patreon link, or go in the description and click on any of my affiliate links. Also, if you'd like to check out any of my other videos, click on the links up here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.